Welcome, Spiritual Mag. Update number 1 for 2024. Well, 2023, everybody said, what's going to happen in 2024? What's going to happen in 2024? Well, we're here now. So what happened? Well, there's been some earthquake activity that's been kicking up. And Iceland's had some volcanic activity that's kicking up. As a matter of fact, the exact numbers are right now, continuous volcanic eruptions on the planet. There's 47. 47 volcanoes are continuously erupting right now. Now, on average is 30. So it's not unusual for there to be a volcanic eruption. But instead of the average of 30, there's 47. So that suggests that solar flares, the Earth resonances, the Schumann resonances, the functioning resonance that work inside of us, outside of us, on the Earth, and on the surface of the Earth are in a little bit different place right now. Things are a little bit more active. So that's what happened like New Year's Day. Okay, it was a big deal. And so Japan had a very significant eruption, 7 point something, and a tsunami. And it was the news, but what they didn't talk about much was a couple of years back, Japan had a 9 point something that had this terrible tsunamis. And the week before the 9 hit, a 7 hit. So we had a 7 hit New Year's Day, which was a day or so ago. And so there's a lot of concern that another big one's going to come, soon. Additionally, the volcanoes that are erupting, a fair number are on what's called the Ring of Fire, which is the Pacific Plate. That includes California, Oregon, and Washington. So San Diego had a little earthquake activity. Actually, it was a 4 point something, but it was just off the coast, but it moved a big chunk of California over. It wasn't a high magnitude, but it was a large area that moved. So 2024 is turning out to be very exciting right out of the get-go. So 2024 is just popped out of the can, and already we've got sparks happening. Iran is being targeted big time. The Red Sea is blocked, and so shipping stopped through the Red Sea, which is going to impact everybody. It's going to impact oil and just all kinds of stuff. So it's globally a problem is occurring that's going to affect everybody. Now, Ukraine and Russia is not over. Russia just blew up the most stuff they've blown up since the war began. And the United States is kind of putting a halt on funds to Ukraine, so that's not getting any better. Now, Israel and Palestine, that's just growing. The problem's just growing. All the neighbors around Israel are being impacted. And the Turks and Iran have massive military power. And so they're not pretending like they're going to back down. And the Iranians have just launched some sort of warship into the Red Sea, so going to see what's going to happen there. Now, I have a friend who's kind of keeps up to date on intelligence, and he's pretty confident that the earthquake activity, Schumann resonance activity is being impacted by foreign nations as a weapon. And he feels, and he's in a position to know, he's anonymous, that China's kind of behind a lot of this stuff. So China and Japan don't really get along. Japan just got whacked with this big earthquake. The earthquakes are moving, and they'll probably come back down on the west coast from the north. So that general situation is just getting worse globally, and that's not going to help. So We've got earthquakes, we've got volcanoes, we've got pole shift on the globe impacting everybody's consciousness and making a lot of people, not function very well and unhealthy. And then at the same time, we have nation states fighting other nation states, and those are globally impacting. So could it get any worse? Yes, it could get worse. It could become domestic civil war. Civil war could happen right now in the United States. Seriously. It's that close. 2 states, Maine and Colorado, have made it legal to keep the past president, Donald Trump, off the ballot. And 24 states are trying to keep him off the ballot. So the general current out there says that a lot of people like Trump, and a lot of people like to say F you to Biden, everybody. So if the 2024 election, Trump doesn't win because he's not on the ballot, well, we have a civil conflict. We have a civil war. Actually, it's probably better to think of it as a civil conflict rather than a war, because if we elevate consciousness, we have a chance to smooth things out. Seriously, wouldn't be hard. We have resources. Elon, Jesse Ventura. Those 2 individuals on their own could formulate a new United States based on the original Constitution, the original states' rights, the original rights. Imagine if AI was protecting your privacy instead of what it's doing now. Imagine if ChatGPT and AI and all the data that's out there were used to help your health care, help you with safe food and safe drinking water and transportation, instead of what's happening now. Because what's happening now, it's not going smoothly. So the opportunity for a civil conflict in 2024 is months away, and the solution is elevating consciousness. So what would a 2024 civil war look like in the United States? I mean, they're not going to be on horseback shooting, 6-shooters like fighting, Indians and stuff. It would probably be situations like what's happening. It'd be, look over here, don't look here. Okay? So, for example, let's say China is causing the earthquakes in Japan that are also going to be coming over to the Ring of Circle and into California. So that's a covert way to cause civil disturbances, because people don't know that some other country is causing these things, because it's doable with HARP. It's doable with coordinating with the Schumann resonances as these solar things that come through. So you notice a couple days before New Year's, everything was cool. Bang, as soon as New Year's happened, stuff started happening. I identified in Northern California where some sort of disturbances would occur, domestic or otherwise. And it started happening, and it's still happening. Right now we've got a little more earthquake activity on the West Coast and this pretty significant amount of flooding. So the authorities that are in charge of managing people tend to be the police and law enforcement. So now you can be an undocumented immigrant and become an American policeman. Yeah, think about that. Think about all the people that are here that are undocumented, that are getting housing, health care, those types of things, and they become employed as law enforcement. Picture that one. You think it's kind of weird now, it get really weird. Actually, it get incredibly weird. And it would sort of make things like what Elon's trying to do, and people like Elon, elevating consciousness, is an obstacle for them. Okay, so we need to elevate our consciousness, all of us actively, and that's only done through meditation. That's the only way you're going to do it. And if you elevate your own space, you elevate the people around you, everything gets better, and we all get better. And the reverse can happen. If you mess with everybody in your space, they're going to mess with other people, and it'll just snowball, and it's not going to be a solution. So why would Obama put a Netflix program on about civil war? Huh? What good does that do? It doesn't do any good. But somebody went way out of their way to produce that, and way out of their way to digitally put that so that in neuroscience, when you're watching that, it's going to influence a certain percentage of people. Is it going to help? No. Think about that. Think about that. So in terms of domestic terrorism, that can include thought pollution, poisoning the well, so that people, instead of elevating their consciousness, instead of treating themselves and others with respect, they do the reverse. They function on greed. So I work with angels, okay? And angels work with everybody. Everybody has a fractal, a divine creator within them, everybody. Even the worst person on the planet is made by divine source. Their soul is a part of divinity. So in this 3D plane of densification, the goal is to work on balance. Balance. Okay, so balance means you have positive and negative. It's a duality. And when negative things happen, to balance it, good things have to happen. So when you have conflict, global conflict, civil disturbances, that motivates people like Fernando, my producer, Jarrett, my cameraman, me, and a lot of people that help us to promote elevating consciousness and working with angels, treating ourselves and others with unconditional love. Now, there's some individuals that come to the planet, Mother Mary or the Virgin Mary or our Lord Jesus or Lord Muhammad or Lord Buddha. They come from other places. Different races come from different planets. Hello, maybe you noticed, okay? So you think aliens are out there? Well, yeah, the aliens are out there, and the ones that were seated, they're looking at us now. We're kind of like stardust. We are stardust, okay? Our willpower, ability to focus on unconditional love are things you can't measure, you can't photograph, you can't weigh. But those are the things that animate the stardust. So we have positive and negative, good people and people that do bad stuff. So this causes a balance. So in the conclusion, everybody goes to heaven. Some people go higher, some people can tolerate more unconditional love, but everything's a balance. So you can judge someone's actions. You can't judge their soul. So in this balance, this yes and no, this yin and yang, there really are aliens. There really are aliens, and they're super loving. Hello, they're not going to do something negative. You can't go through different higher dimensions and be negative. Can't happen. Don't worry. Okay, if you're a real negative person, you die, you probably don't go up the light. You're a ghost. You walk around as a ghost. When you're loving, you go up. Okay? So where you came from are loving places, and where you're going are loving places, even the evil people, because you don't know the big story till you get to the other side. You find out, oh, that's why Iran did that. That's why the Palestinians did that. That's why Hamas did that, so that other people can learn certain lessons that aren't available in heaven. Are they fun? No. No. Are they painful? Yes. Do they hurt? Yes. And that motivates people. Yep. So, okay, Elon Musk is not evil. Elon Musk is an ultra-terrestrial. He was born on this planet, yes. His last lifetime, he was on another planet, okay? So that's why he's so gifted. And that's why he's motivated by unconditional love to help everybody. That's how many people are. And as we all elevate our consciousness, off-planet beings come and help. Okay, now, the United States government in 2023 proved that UFOs are real. The Army, they got pictures. They have sworn statements up to yin yang. Also, the U.S. Army and the U.S. government has proved that they've been working with aliens. And they've been, working with captured materials that they've created their own spaceships and stuff, like in-house UFOs or IFOs, identified flying objects, or crafts. So those are two big deals. There's off-planet beings that are really here, and they're loving. Hello? Now, 2017, I was involved with an off-planet entity. It was at Black Rock Beach outside Trujillo in Peru. And a Peruvian journalist, Guillermo Gillespie, and I called it in. It was a special light thing. It didn't look like a craft, but it was this ginormous light that came from Orion. And it provided me with some information. It's very, very interesting. So for me, it's not speculation that UFOs are real. They are real. It's not speculation that entities and beings off planet are here to help. They are here to help, but they're not going to do it for you. You must go within and meditate. It's not that hard to do. And what happens is there's a doorway inside of you now that's a little bit closed. And when you sit still, put your palms up, breathe, focus on your breath, relaxation, do some visualizations, the doorway opens and you find out that you are connected to divine source and you elevate your consciousness. And what that does, that improves your health, it improves the environment around you, it improves the soil beneath your feet. And all of it has got to be done, because if it's not done, things spiral out of control and it will go down. So that's the thing to do. Treat yourself in a loving fashion. Do some meditation, sunrise and sunset. I've got some meditations. Elena Danan has some exceptional meditations. Find one that's comfortable for you and start doing that. And you'll find out you'll be responsible for yourself and you'll learn your spiritual lessons with the least amount of pain. I promise you that. If you would like more information, I have what's called the Civilian Corps. And Civilian Corps is a way for people to reach up. And we'll post this. But basically, it's about using the ethical effort of man and machine, artificial intelligence, and ethically use neuroscience to move humanity forwards in a non-violent way. So that's how, Elon and Jesse and other white hat people can start new governments and make it even better and not infringe on other people's rights. Just protect ourselves. The way you treat yourself is the way you're going to treat others. You treat yourself with respect, you'll get along with everybody else just fine.